Marketing Monday, and I am your host, Leo, which, as you may have noticed or not, I don't think I ever actually said my name in any of the first week of streams until I was on Saturday night with Justin, and he used my name, and I realized like I never actually used that. So I am your host, Leo Guinan. It's great to be here. And if you're joining from YouTube, this is part of the idea supply chain. Um, and on the idea supply chain, we were asking where ideas come from and what makes them valuable. And now Building Public University is where those ideas come from. So I'm looking to be an idea source in your idea supply chain. So now we can start seeing how all of this stuff fits together because um, yeah, I've not been great at helping everybody connect all of the dots that I've been putting all over the board. So um, that's where we're at. Memetic Marketing Monday. We are live. And today, let's see. Um, so today, let's actually talk about sponsorships because this is what I've been working on with Building Public University. And in fact, was just on with a potential sponsor. And actually, I guess, you know what, it looks like we're going to go ahead and figure out how that works. So it's with Gladia, which is a French um, audio transcription AI company. And so what I want to do with it is basically I want to be able to live stream from here, as I am currently doing. And I want that tied into a stream that gets automatically transcribed. And I want to pass that down into the memetic or the autonomous memetic marketing systems that I'm building, which is a total mouthful. And I hate that. But marketing AIs, I guess, is really the um, easiest way to think about them. But ultimately, what I want to do is I want to take the transcripts of what I'm saying, which is a bunch of stuff that's all over the place and very, very human. Um, and I'm going to give that to the AIs to turn into words for other humans. And that's marketing, right? And so memetic marketing means that it's aware of itself in relation to the system. And so it's constantly getting feedback from the system that we're defining for it. And so as I'm building this out, I have Glitch and Professor Prototype for Building Public University. Actually, I want to notify someone that we are live. Um, Building Public University. Make sure that is in fact the right URL. Yes, it is. I see myself there. Perfect. Okay, cool. Got that done. And oh, actually, I should probably notify other people. See, this is the thing. I'm still getting used to this whole streaming thing. And I'm not particularly good at telling people when I've done it. In fact, like I had someone today. Oh, why aren't you live? I was expecting you to be live at noon. And I'm like, holy shit, somebody actually like was expecting me to be live. That's weird. Um, so I'm still figuring out this whole like people are interested in what I'm doing sort of thing, right? Okay, so talking about marketing and sponsorships, and this is actually a great example for why I would love to start a streaming transcript because what I can do with this then is basically as I start streaming and go live, that can be an event that fires and allows other systems to basically come online. And what I want to do with this, so as the transcript first goes out, um, I can actually give it to uh, Glitches Human on Twitter, and Build in Public U on Twitter, and have them announce that the stream is starting and post links. And over time, these links will actually like be tracked, and I'll be able to see who's coming in from where if they are. Um, and what I'm doing is I'm pulling all of this information in together. And um, let's see. Okay, where am I? Okay, and then we can share the screen, which is better than looking at me. Um, all right, cool. So we have Claude here. And so basically, this is how I presented myself to Gladia as as someone hoping for them to sponsor me, because I realized, like, first of all, I really like Gladia. Like, I've used them for a bunch of things, and when I've built out APIs, I've always enjoyed them. Um, and I really saw an opportunity here to partner with them because they want to be able to grow. Um, and I'm doing something that can help them do so. I'm not going to be able to be particularly valuable to them in terms of how much I spend on transcription. Starting off, I can only talk so much, right? And I can talk a lot, but only so much. And I don't have a whole bunch of other people in this yet streaming. But what I'm doing is I want to create this as an example for how to create a real-time media outlet um, in the internet AI age, right? Um, this gives us the ability to, let's see, oh, I actually have chat. See, this is, okay, so I don't actually play anything, sorry. I'm building a media network. So I'm kind of playing Media Network Tycoon, I guess we can call it. That would actually be funny. And this is something that maybe somebody out there can vibe code. Um, all right, cool. There we go. Look at me chatting and stuff while streaming. This is perfect. And I've scared all of them off anyway. So it's perfect. But that's it. And this is something I've realized. I am not for everybody. And that's what marketing has to be, right? You have to figure out who you're valuable to, and then you have to get in front of them. Um, and this is something that I've realized that companies are actually really struggling with right now. Um, and I'm just going to go ahead and show my own comment on stream there because I'm cool like that. And it's my stream and I get to do what I want to, which is pretty cool. So, when I'm explaining this for a potential brand sponsorship, um, I'm really looking at, first of all, who am I talking to? So I'm talking to people that are trying to figure out how to um, create value online. And I'm doing this in a couple different ways. So, I'm talking to the builders and kind of the building part of Build in Public University. And I'm going to be showcasing all of the stuff that I'm doing. It's all open source, open architecture, and it's a cooperative model because that's what it's designed to be. Everything is transparent and open and cooperative, because that's the only way you can actually have a media network in an AI age. Otherwise, you just simply can't trust it. You have to be able to validate it at every point in the node. And so, okay, so I'm identifying my audience, and for this particular conversation, I'm narrowing that audience down to the builders of Build in Public University. Um, because as I'm, trying to sell Gladia on this partnership, I'm saying like, okay, great. Here are the people that I'm showing how to do things. So it's not that um, I'm going to get you necessarily a bunch of people right this second. It's something that as time goes on and I do more and more, we're going to bring more and more people in. Um, and this is the goal, right? It's I want to do everything as easily as possible. Um, and I'm going to build a model for everything. Now, anything can be swapped in and out, but I'm going to have defaults that I use for the stuff that I build because I'm not going to build every possible implementation of anything I release. And in fact, I'm not going to build any except the one, and sometimes not even the full one, because frankly, there are a lot of you out there who have more time and energy and focus on building things than I can right now. So, my biggest hope is that I can just say that I want things built, and people will realize that it's an opportunity to do something valuable and build it. And then I will create content around it, and it will get, uh, you know, go out in the public, get famous, pull in users, and it'll be a great collective process here. Ultimately, that's what we're shooting for. Um, but then, yeah, like, so I'm talking about this as like, okay, I want to make sure that Gladia stays the one that I'm working with. And if I'm not actually like partnered with them, maybe I'm looking at different companies if I decide that, like, well, maybe this is not as easy. But by doing this, what I'm doing is I'm setting up that relationship. And by talking to them, what I was able to do is basically have a direct line of technical support as I am getting this up and running. And so I need to get my server up with the RTMP support that I can stream into, and then start transcribing it and start broadcasting it to different parts of the system. So that's the next goal. I actually spent some time over the week over the weekend trying to get an RTMP server up and running, which it made me realize how much I miss AWS, kind of, but not really AWS. So we're going to talk about being a bad company right now. And AWS is a bad company. And they're a bad company because they made me mad. And so this is a very human thing, but they annoyed me. Um, and it's basically, here's the deal. I've used AWS for everything. I've had AWS credits, and I realized that my AWS credits were running out. So I ended up joining this program that got me more AWS credits. Cool. Because here's the thing with AWS credits: if you get $5,000 in AWS credits, you can't ever get $5,000 again. You can only get more than that, and then they take out like the 5,000 that you already had. And so they've basically got it boxed out to where if you're independent and just by yourself, you can only get a little bit like $5,000 of credits, but then you have to like have some sort of more formal partnership with them. Fine. Okay. I played that game and then I used their credits over time just because like I build a lot of shit and get a lot of things out there. And then I'm not great at taking them down because, well, I didn't really need to worry about it. I was mostly worried about moving fast and figuring out what does work. Um, and so anyway, I sign up for this program and I get the AWS credits and I go to submit them because I'm running out. Um, and I get denied. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm denied? Like, come on. I'm trying to get these AWS credits, so I, I continue to use AWS. Um, and like you kind of promised me that I would get these AWS credits. And so I email them back. And then there's a delay. And then I get a response like, oh, well, we had a screw up in our system. Because you didn't have the same URL for the company, or you didn't have the same. Let's see. So basically, what it was is I gave the name of my company, which is Idea Nexus Ventures, And I gave them the website of one of the products I was building. So I've structured Idea Nexus Ventures as a venture studio that I can launch multiple products out of, because it's the AI age. Like, I'm launching shit all the time. I don't know what's going to stick, right? This confused AWS, who is old school and just old and like a dinosaur. And I had a different website than a name, and it confused them, and they denied my thing, which was great. And they're like, okay, we'll just resubmit it. And at this point, my credits ran out, and they started billing me. Cool. And so eventually they get back to me and award me the credits. All right. Except now I have an $800 charge on my account. Now, I am in the early days. $800 is more than my fucking rent. No, like, you have $20,000 in credits there that I just added to the account. Go ahead and take that $800 out of there. And they said no. Like, we can't do that. Like, what the fuck do you mean you can't do that? Like, it's your system. I can't do that. I'm not in your system, but you are the kind of definition, like, in your system of anyone. Like, you can do that. God, I am so angry at this whole situation, because it really fucking annoys me. You are the giant company, Amazon, that isn't affected by $800. For me, I don't have the $800 in cash, which is why I went through the whole effort of trying to get the goddamn credits. And basically, I got annoyed at AWS, and I just said basically, like, fuck you, I'm not paying, and you can go ahead and shut off my servers and just leave a bill there. Then, like, I'm tired of dealing with you. It is more hassle than it's worth. So I've been shifting over to GCP. God, I hate GCP. And one of the things I realized with this is, first of all, like, it's so it's so easy to be just better than what's there. Opportunity is literally everywhere, because this is fucking ridiculous. So GCP, I've been trying to deploy a server and get it up and running, because again, I have GCP credits. Fuck, I hate GCP. It has been terrible to work with. I was trying to get a server deployed, and I was able to get things deployed to the server, but then you can't have the server just open to the internet. You've got to set it up behind a load balancer because of security rules. Okay, well, fine, I do that. Well, then that's not working. And then I'm going through this, and I'm like, this is really annoying. And I've done stuff like this with AWS in the past, but more importantly, I've been using flight control in the past. Now, flight control is this fantastic uh, bit of software that basically sits on top of AWS, and it makes AWS go away. And it makes you not have to think about AWS. And it is magical because deploys just work. And the team is incredibly helpful. Um, and so that's another one of the sponsors I actually have reached out to, because I'm like, look, I hate AWS, but you make AWS tolerable. And that's actually even better than any other like software out there. And it's because I have this idea that I can use credits to get started and not have to worry about a case where, like, the problem with things like Vercel is, if something takes off because of the way their usage is set up, you can end up getting hit with kind of a really large bill. Like, the serverless stuff is um it can be kind of risky with that, which I guess that's a champagne problem to have. Like, if something takes off, I've launched enough things that haven't, but it's enough of a risk to make me reconsider that. And I, as I've been thinking about this, I'm like, man, flight control is by far the best option here. So I reached out to the CEO of Flight Control, and I'm hoping I can get a sponsorship there because whether or not I get one, they're going to be the official deployment sponsor of this show. And they will as soon as I figure out how to get $800 as a part of the sponsorship agreements as we get some of these set up because yeah, my God, I'm just tired of fighting everything to get a fucking deploy to work. Um, it really made me appreciate everything that Brandon hid away from me for years because so many things I deployed. I could have deployed 10 different projects in the amount of time it took me to fail to get one deployed on GCP. It's insane. And yes, part of it is that I'm not digging in and figuring out exactly how everything works, but that's because I don't want to. That's not my focus. My focus is on getting everything out into the world. My focus is on getting products in front of people, getting ideas in front of people. I don't want to be fucking with uh, server configs and all of that. I've done that for years in the past, and I don't have any desire to do that anymore. I'm beyond that now. Like I'm working at a higher level of abstraction. Um, and I think that's what we need to realize is that with all of technology and all of this stuff, we're building out these layers of abstraction because they start to get complicated. And then as they start to get complicated, you need a simplification layer. Um, and I view Build in Public University as the simplification layer of the world to the people who are up and coming in it. Because when I first realized that I might want to build a startup and I'm starting to try to build things on my own, like I realized how bad I was at it at first. And it is really hard. And marketing is the hardest fucking thing to get right. Even when you figure out the problem you're solving and how to like help somebody with a problem, you then have to get past blocks they've set up for these different networks because people are fucking constantly trying to get in front of their attention and steal their attention and then like sell them shit they don't need. And so when you're trying to help somebody find something they do need, you're paying a cost for everybody else's bad behaviors. And this is actually a sign of a really badly designed system. And it's something I've explored in some of my previous writing about systems and see if I actually had Gladia's live stream up and running and tied into all of my content, it would actually be able to pull in that writing and pop it up on the screen and maybe even have like a Twitch bot or something that could do that and connect it in. Um, or an X bot. I don't know. Twitter bot. God, I hate saying X. That's the dumbest fucking name. Anyway, beyond that, but um, yeah. So I'm working on selling this, and I'm showcasing where I'm taking this brand. And it's funny when I talk to people because like uh, the dude I talked to from Gladia today, he's just like, wow, you've got like an incredibly clear vision of like how all this stuff fits together. And it's like, I didn't say it, but I'm like, man, yeah, well, yeah, like I've been doing this for like 5 years and trying to figure shit out. And with very little help from any of the fucking media platforms that are supposedly good at surfacing people to other people. And part of that is my hatred of the algorithmic games that other people are willing to play. I don't want to play those fucking games. And that's why we're going to do it different. And that's what marketing is too. Marketing is about figuring out what your position is. And your position is defined by kind of all of the things around you that you're pushing against. When you're trying to create a brand gravity, and this is the way I think about it. I literally think about it in like physics concepts. You're trying to create a brand gravity that pulls the right people into you. And the only way that you can create the right brand gravity is if you understand exactly like what you're for, but when you're taking a stance for something, you're also taking a stance against something else. And so I've been figuring out my very specific positioning with this. And basically, I'm positioning myself against algorithmic systems. I don't believe that this is the best way to distribute information. And in fact, there's a lot of math that will prove me right in time that people will start to see when they start paying fucking attention to it. Um, but what I want to do with this is show this model of how do you create something that other people can pull from? How can we create automatic distribution mechanisms that go out to other uh, media networks, such as Twitter, such as Instagram, such as Facebook, such as LinkedIn? I want to be upstream of all of those. And I want to be controlling the information that's flowing into the networks, not dealing with the information that's already on them. And when I'm doing this, I actually have a huge marketing advantage that companies haven't realized yet. But it's what I'm trying to get them to see. Because the way I'm doing this is basically I'm creating what I'm calling a chaos network. And what a chaos network is it's basically a group of people that you have no assumptions about. And I'm attracting this chaos network in two ways. So I've got the Make the Internet Weird Again campaign. Um, and I want people to sign up to that mailing list um, because they are tied to the vision of it. It's about the vibe. And in fact, it's funny. I saw there's a tweet that I still have to respond to because I posted "Make the Internet Weird Again" under a tweet that I thought was going to end up going viral. It was still early in its life cycle. Andrew Wilkinson retweeted it, which meant that the number of views it was going to get was going to skyrocket way more than normal. And I was one of the earlier responders on this. As expected, I've actually gotten traffic to Make the Internet Weird Again. And in fact, we can even go to Fathom here and see that, or we could at least if I do it in this tab because I'm only showing the tab and not the whole window. Okay, there we go. So we actually have two people currently on Make the Internet Weird Again. But if you see here, this is actually already spiking up. And so it's looking like it's going to be pretty good for me overall. Uh, I didn't do much marketing here, obviously. I don't, didn't mean to click that. Obviously, this is where the initiative started. I did a good bit of effort to get that on. Um, got a good thing there, and then this is really where we're looking at. And as you can see, direct refer is really coming from Twitter. And so this is one of the things that chaos marketing is all about. And so if we actually go to the tweet now, um, let's take that's oh yeah. So it's this one here. So now we've got 143,000, and you see it's just ticking up right there. And I kind of position myself, and again, it's all about positioning. It's positioning all the way down. So positioning myself here against this, which because Altus had a great run. The AI future belongs to ADHD. And that's funny to me because I'm ADHD and autistic. So, maximum chaos, striving for maximum order, make the internet weird again.com. What I say actually doesn't matter that much here. Then I had a response. So I had that. And then now I am dropping more information here. And here we go. Your website is eligible. This is actually perfect. And let's actually, we can respond to this live. Um, if you want legibility. Uh, there we go. And so this is really something that I'm kind of focusing in on here, right? Is this differentiation of art, and also I really need to remember that this doesn't navigate when I switch tabs. Okay, and see. Okay, I was actually just doing this, and I was like, wait, I actually have an XJS app that has an RTMP. Well, it actually didn't anymore. It used to have an RTMP. Anyway, um, that's in the future. But I think that the sponsorship thing here is really about the marketing. Um, and so I want to market myself to the people and brands that I want partnerships with. Um, and I'm still really bad at cold emails, I found. This is unfortunate. I get overexcited and reach out to people and then do an info dump. And I'm like, it's okay. This person is like me. They'll get the info dump. Um, woo, we got Lobo in the house. We can get this party fucking started now. Um, hell yeah. All right. Yeah, so now we got Lobo here. Just to recap, so going over the uh sponsor that I'm hoping to fully secure. I mean, we've got a tentative agreement in place. Except, I forgot that they're like they don't quite think like me. And they're like, "Oh, you haven't actually like integrated this yet." And I'm like, "Oh no, like I'm going to." And they're like, "Cool. Well, here's some like hours. Let me know when you integrate it." And see, here's the thing. I think they are expecting me to come back with an integration in like a week or two, maybe longer. I don't know. My goal is to come back with an integration that's working tonight and be like, "Oh yeah, here it is. This is what I'm doing now." I actually tried to do it in the like 20 minutes I had between the end of the call and the start of the live stream, but that was actually a little tight even for me. Um, but that's okay because yeah, I'll still get it to him. And I think by doing that, that's also going to showcase that I am very serious about like what I'm talking about. I talk a big game because fuck, I've been working at this shit for years, and it turns out, yeah, I did know what I was talking about the whole time, and I just had to figure out how to explain it. And now that I do, people tend to get surprised and like they expect me to be. It's funny because people expect me to be further along in the journey than I am because I sound like somebody who has had all of the experience. And it's because I've just had none of the success because I didn't worry about all the status games people play normally when they get all of the experience. I dug into what I was doing. I tried to be a CEO among friends. How can I be a leader among any group of people I'm in? It doesn't matter if I have a fucking board or a boardroom and like a fucking corner office. Like, that's not what makes you a fucking CEO. To be a CEO, you got to be a leader. To be a leader, you have to be able to inspire people. And that's something that I've gotten over and over again. I've gotten this feedback of like, wow, talking to you is really inspirational. And actually, we're gonna flash Lobau's comment up here because he is the one who taught me how to be inspirational. This dude has fucking inspired me over and over and over again on this fucking journey, and he is the reason that I am who I am today. Um, or a big part of the reason. I mean, not the entire reason. Like, I don't want to discount the work that I've certainly put in myself, but you know, I talk a lot about friendship because fucking friendship matters, and that's what gets people along. You know, we are able to support each other, and let me tell you, I will be the first to admit that this you know, this has been a harder journey than I anticipated. When I first started this, I thought I was going to be a billionaire in like 3 months. I was like, I figured out money. Like, all you guys are idiots. Like, what are you doing? Money is simple. Turns out, you can tell people that, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you, kid?" Like, I say kid, and like, it's funny how the systems we have really look down on you for not having certain experience. Um, but god damn it, you know what? I would take my kids over most adults, and I'll take them over most adults because I've taught them to be open to ideas. I've taught them to be curious. I've seen what kids can do. And this has always been one of my things. I've been watching as everything has changed. And the kids that are coming up through the ranks are way better than I was at that age. And they're way better than you were at this age. Or you know, at that age, whatever. We don't understand how much more the kids are able to do because they have information that they have, like they have access to all of the world's information. um and so, you know, I've got one kid who knows everything there is to know about sports because he's fascinated by sports. And he's even starting to already be a coach, because that's the level he sees the game at. And then I've got my other kid who's, you know, he's doing his own streaming. Um, he's known at school for being a faster typist than the teacher, and you know, he's got his he's hacked a Wii, like, and done things right. Like, so one of the things that I've tried to instill is that the information is all out there. It's just it's all about having the desire to go get it. It's all about having curiosity, and being willing to go deeper. Because that was one of the things that I really had growing up, that I didn't realize is, um, you know, my dad really instilled this curiosity in me because there was always a deeper amount of knowledge to whatever I had, and it really didn't matter. It was honestly astonishing. It was a very long time before like I came to any conversation with new information. Um, and that's an astonishing thing, especially, you know, considering this was like pre-internet days. And but it's just the type of person, you know, he is. And it's the that's one of those values that has always been really instilled in me because it's easy. One thing I found is it is so easy to be curious about anything once you scratch the surface, and this is especially true of people. And yes, you know, we've got Loba with the friendship is what moves the world forward. It does, and it does because people are incredible. One of the things that really breaks my heart anymore about these discussions that I see is everybody's trying to figure out, like, oh, well, you know, is this person actually valuable or not? Like, no, fuck that. All people are valuable. All people matter. Um, and they matter because of the systems that they are part of. And, you know, everybody's part of systems that you can't see. And this is one of the things that I think people have found hard with friendship is you can't necessarily see friendship. It's not easily measured, but it's felt. And it's not something you can truly feel until uh you've realized that um you need to you need someone for you, and your friends are there for you. And this is something that Lobao has taught me incredibly. Like, when your friends need you, you are there for them, and it doesn't fucking matter what it takes. You will move heaven and earth to do anything for your friends. And one of the things you have to figure out is, like, first of all, who are the friends that you would move heaven and earth for? And who are the friends who would move heaven and earth for you? Um, and the internet has made this actually a really asymmetric question, which makes things really weird. And it's something that I figured out because I thought I was building a stronger relationship with some people that I was. And this isn't bad. This was me being naive about my own standing in a network on like, Twitter, for example. So I reached out to people asking for a favor, thinking that we had developed enough of a relationship. We knew each other enough. And it was really interesting to see who I was able to rely on. And it wasn't nearly as reliable as I was thinking, which is totally fine. But that actually led me to this understanding of what I call activation energy in a network. And so, okay, you have a network of people that you are attached to. What is the amount of energy that it takes to get something done? And friendship, this minimizes the activation energy, because with friends, all you have to do is fucking ask. And a lot of times they are there. That's what friends are. Um, so I talk about optimizing the world towards friendship. But this is actually a very specific optimization that I'm looking to do. I'm looking to create networks that optimize towards a cost of activation energy of zero. What this means is that you have a network that offers you infinite leverage. And when you have friends, you always have leverage. You always have people who are there at your back. When you have a new idea and shit's crazy and you need people to, like, prop up your idea or whatever, um, that's what friends are for. Friends are there before your professional network. They're there before your investors. They're there before your customers. They're there before your readers. They're there before your audience, whatever. Your friends are the ones who are there for you. And honestly, I haven't done a great job at being there for my friends. And it's tough when um yeah, I'm dropping the comments here, man. This is the funny thing. Like, I've dropped a lot of these comments before, and they just get hidden because nobody gets to see them, because I'm tired of this fucking social media shit telling me that I need to be pissed off all the time, because everybody is my enemy. And no, fuck that. I love all y'all. We're all going to be friends here. This is a friendly place. Um, and, everybody is welcome. And the only way you're not welcome is if you make other people feel unwelcome. And this is due to the paradox of tolerance, but it does come down to something really interesting. And actually, we're going to talk about this because I've been so random Leo moment here. So I am now acting as a narrator for an audiobook, um, because somebody on Twitter had an audiobook that their narrator dropped out of. And um, I was like, that sounds cool. I want to do that. Can I do that? And so now I'm doing that. Um, and it's actually like, well, so it's a little bit beyond just, oh, I kind of want to do that. Let me clarify this, because I think this is the problem that we run into with social media. That is technically true. However, one of the things that I also said is, by the way, I've been a YouTuber for like 2 years now. I'm working on writing a couple books, and I want to be able to narrate my own book when I write it. So this is a great chance for me to kind of learn on the fly while getting feedback, from you. And um, so yeah, I'm not going to say that I got this just because I asked for it. It's because I put a lot of work into knowing what I'm doing and what I want, and making this very, very specific request. I'm not always great at making a specific request. I tend to hedge and and try to have people give me what they want to offer. Um, I'm starting to flip that because, yeah, basically everybody else has the same problem I do, which means it's hard to fucking price things. So my not being willing to price things is, I think, part of the reason that I've found myself in the uh, time crunch that I'm kind of currently in to kind of get all of this stuff together. But it all actually, works out well because of the fact that it has helped me figure out what parts actually matter. And in this case, this is um, a good use case with this Gladia partnership, because I threw out a number of 5K a month. And I don't know if that's actually going to be what the number is. We don't have an official number yet, but it's a target. Um, and, just being willing to uh, take, to have the confidence to put a number on it. Because the thing is, and this is something that this is what I feel as someone who's kind of been on like the negotiation table from the side of job interviews and stuff. Um, when you're negotiating, you tend to not want to put a specific number on, because like, I'm like, well, I don't want to go too low. Like I I want to um give myself the value that I think I've got, but I also like don't want to go too high and have them be like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like, because I don't know what the actual prices are and anything. And that's my biggest blocker into the market. Now, I the other problem that I run into is a lot of marketing is based off of like PPM, like how much you pay for like 1,000 impressions or 1,000 views, whatever, or you do kind of a like an affiliate style. I get people to you and they sign up and pay. And I don't actually like either of those models because, first of all, um, what this leads to is it leads to platforms that, like on TikTok, all of the views aggregate to um, very few people. Power laws, right? Um, most people will not get views, and then a few people will get all the views. Um, that's actually terrible for marketing, because guess what? That's not an accurate representation of your market. But in a world that is really hard to understand where people exist online, marketers are just like, well, I know that if I make the top number go up, the number of impressions, and I can get some sort of predictable funnel out of that, of like how many people will convert from this, top of funnel number. And it's actually funny, when I was at Copy AI and I was trying to get them to make me a social network engineer, and I was talking about the need to think about the future top of funnel. And the reason for this was basically like, as things change, you might have someone in the top of funnel who isn't actually, who shouldn't be in your top of funnel, because either you changed or they changed. Um, and it's hard to kind of figure out where people are. And so we try to get everybody into the funnel, and then you end up like running into just a lot of really weird scenarios because everybody's trying to get everybody in the top of the funnel. And so what I want to do is I want to create a chaos network, which is basically a shared top of funnel. And so a good way to think of a chaos network is so it's like you've got everybody in the world, right? And a subset of those people are on Twitter. So if you take the people on Twitter and then remove Twitter and compare that to the rest of the world, that's a chaos network. There's a bunch of people that are connected. You know that they're connected, but you don't know exactly how. And so Twitter tells you how they are connected. This person follows this person follows this person liked this person replied here. Everything is very, very defined in terms of this is how this relationship looks. What the relationship looks like is different to both people in the relationship. And there's a third perspective now that you've got to consider, which is what the relationship looks like to people outside of the relationship. Holy fuck, that is complicated. And it's complicated for people who are aware of all of those relationships going on. Now you're actually just going to dump a bunch of people on these networks and not give them any instructions as to how to actually behave themselves. And they're going to see a lot more people on these chaotic networks than they are in their life around them. Oh, yeah, by the way, these networks are also designed to grab your attention and hold it and not let go. So we're also going to try to get you addicted to the platform while doing all of the above. Holy shit, that is not fucking healthy. Um, so we're going to redesign this whole idea of social networking and social media, and we're going to break this out into a couple different channels. Um, as I'm marketing this again, like marketing is it's about setting your filters, and this is something that I actually I tweeted out about it too. Um, you need to like your funnel is your filter. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to get people who are um, ready to be sold to in your funnel so you can sell to them because your funnel is what is predictable to you. As a marketer, your only hope in a chaotic world is a funnel that is predictable. Um, yes. And if people that market were to meet people in real life, you cancel out the issues. And this is actually what I want to do. I'm taking marketing budgets and I'm putting it into the hands of people. And basically, I'm setting it up to where marketing budgets will be able to pull people into the Chaos Network by having events that allow people to do this. And this is what we're showcasing in Austin this week with the first Chaos Network event. So we're pulling people into an in-person thing where I'm hoping to convert them into email subscribers. The email subscriber being the point of contact um, for this Chaos Network. All a Chaos Network requires is a way to get in contact with somebody when you need to. Because here's the thing, it's not a guaranteed response, it's a guaranteed connection. And so that's all we're working on here. We are working on building a connection to a bunch of people for the use of potentially doing something marketing related. But we're not going to um, set rules around exactly how this looks because we want people to be able to structure things in ways that make sense with the people and the world around them. So instead of going global with our marketing dollars, what we're going to do is we're going to deploy global marketing dollars into local places and use that to help inform local decisions. So we get to, um, gain a lot more insight into the people that we're marketing to in very specific subpopulations of people because from a marketing perspective this is actually really really helpful because when you're trying to get information from people in a like a social media network, you've got your interactions and you've kind of got your idea of how things are performing in your own system. but you don't have a ton of visibility into other people's systems at all times. You try to communicate between companies, and like, you've got marketers all over the place talking about what's working, what's not working. And this is actually the problem. Marketers are getting really, really good, because like top athletes who are getting really, really good, and we kind of touched on this idea of like, the kids now are really getting skilled and talented because they have access to way more information and are able to get up to speed way faster than the people before them. um, Marketers are getting too fucking good. uh, People are sitting ducks for marketers, especially once you add on these AI tools that allow them to be very, very fast with their marketing. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to offset that by um, helping them have a way to deploy marketing dollars in non predictable ways. Because the thing is, like, when you are too good at marketing, you can market a product that sucks to the point where it looks like it's successful. Except if you stop marketing the product, it fails because it's not a successful product. It's just been marketed and sold well enough. Um, yes, this is it. If you focus on the human instead of the numbers will come later. This is exactly right. Small group at first through genuine care. And what I want to do here is I'm actually figuring out a way to pool resources, because the future structure of this, and this is kind of a peek into the way uh, this whole model works. I'm going to be getting a bunch of different companies who are pouring money into this marketing budget. And then as groups of people get together, they'll be able to access this marketing budget um, to create events. And so what you're doing is you're basically allowing a way for any group of people to access an event access the funding for an event, basically in exchange for information about the event, and you know having people even just give email addresses, something like that, and you can kind of match up people's uh, places over time. So what you're trying to do is you're actually trying to identify which email addresses were in place at these different events. This gives people a way to specifically be on the radar. And so right now we've got a lot of like surveillance on everybody, like trying to figure out like, what do you want? The way I'm looking at it is basically like, hey, here's an event that is like for people to enjoy, and in exchange we're asking for a little bit of information that we can validate. um Over time, as people attend more of these events and we're able to collect more information, um we'll be able to have more accurate marketing. And so suddenly it's like you're getting marketed things that are actually helpful for you, because the marketing is taking care of the job of doing the filtering. It's doing all of the filtering for you, as opposed to the marketer whose funnel is filtering for them. I'm building a reverse funnel that can hook up to the marketer's funnel and make sure that the right people are going into that funnel, instead of marketing teams trying to just capture as much attention as possible and then having all of the marketing teams do that at scale in a way that fucking kills people's brains. Because that is something that I have realized we are all susceptible to. And the more you subject yourself to this, the easier it is to just realize, like, you feel so alone, because you think you're building relationships with people, and you're being marketed to. And so we have to understand that at all times we're always being marketed to. We just need to start making that marketing more explicit. And one of the things that I'm doing here is I'm constantly marketing to you. I am marketing my ideas to you. And I'm marketing my ideas to you because I found them helpful to me and I found them valuable. And I'm showing you why they're all valuable. I'm showing you friendship. You can go back through and you can see all of the times that Lobau on the stream has, commented. He's the one who's always there. He's always commenting. He's reliable. He's predictable in the sense that if I need Lobau to be there, Lobau is there. And it's not something I ever have to worry about. And that's ultimately what the most powerful force is. It's that reliance. And as we build out a larger network of people who are reliable to each other, because they're able to get this marketing money in, and this is the thing, like the money all exists, it just has to flow in the right way. And this actually incentivizes events that let people become friends, instead of having events that always try to sell you things. And this is something that we're really exploring because we're attending a conference for like neurodiversity. And one of the things that we're really against is people trying to sell you on the fact that you are broken and the only way to fix you is to buy your book. Or, the only way to fix yourself is to buy their book. No, that's not how this is. Like, people are not broken. People are not supported. And, a table that's not supported looks like a broken table. But when you have a table that has friends and therefore supports, you have legs, the table stands up, the table is sturdy. We're able to do a lot more together than we can separately. And this starts with the power of friendship. There were messages sent out on the internet on the Ides of March. We talked about beware the power of weird friends. This is what I was talking about. We're going to show the world what real friendship looks like. Because once you see it, you won't forget it. And once you feel it, you'll want nothing more than for everyone else to feel it too. And I think that is a fantastic place to end for this stream. I'm trying to do better at keeping things somewhat concise. But this is, I don't interrupt live sports. That's the rule. And that's one of the things I truly value, because live sports are one of the few things that, like, you can't get. I can't stand to watch a recorded game. Like, no, like, it's about being live. It's about in the moment. It's about that competition in the moment. I don't know who's going to win, who's not. It's about the struggle. It's about the stories. That's what fucking sports is. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, sports, like business, has all come down to a numbers game. How can I bet it? How can I see it in the stats? No, sports isn't about the numbers. Sports is about the human. And the numbers make it kind of fun because the numbers aren't predictable. But like everything else, we try to make it predictable and tie money to it, and ruin it a bit. That said, I think the way to solve this is to let athletes bet on sports, but they can only bet on themselves and the numbers that they're going to put out. And I also think teams should also bet on the numbers that they're going to put out. Mostly because I'm just really fucking curious if all these coaches actually like I want to see how detailed they have their predictions. Like, I watched an Ohio State game and I'm like, I know these guys have fucking teams of data analysts like pouring over shit and looking for every fucking edge. Like, I want to see that data. Put it out in a fucking bet sheet before the game. Let your, like, imagine like the psychological advantage this would add if you just like, you know what, I'm gonna go out there on Saturday and I bet that I'm gonna put up 250 rushing yards on your ass. Let's see what your bet is, coach. Like, fuck yeah, like, give me that kind of energy. Like, coaches keep making millions and millions more, but like, what the fuck does that matter? Like, after a certain couple of million, these guys are in the fucking room doing it over and over again just to be the fucking greatest. Like, it's about respect, it's about earning, it's about glory. Like, now let's start let's peek behind the kimono a little bit. Start putting your money out there on the line. Like, we've got leagues that want to fine players for doing shit. No, like, fuck that. Like, make them start betting. Better yet, let players bet on what they're going to get fined for. Then we can get some really fucked up financialization going on here. But it'd be fucking entertaining. But honestly, like, that's what solves the problem of, like, the gambling. Everybody tries to hide shit. Like, no, fucking let them do it, but, like, make it open. Oh, you're betting that you're gonna blow the game? Guess what? Guess whose ass isn't playing in the fucking game? Like, it's about being open and honest. Like, fuck yeah, don't block people from betting. Just make them be fucking honest about what they're betting on. Anyway, that was my weird sports betting rant that I did not see coming on Memetic Marketing Monday, but that is the fun. The ideas are all memes, and the memes will transform as I start talking, and that's what happens. Anyway, I think that is a good place to wrap. Not quite as good of a place as kind of the mic drop quote moment, but a nice fun rant to end the day with. So that's all for today. Tomorrow is going to be a fun special live stream. I'm going to be on with a mathematician who is going to try to explain an incredibly complex math paper to me. And it's one that he wrote. I don't actually know he. Sorry, I defaulted to he, but just someone I saw on Twitter with their paper, and I invited them on, and they're going to explain it to me and try to get their idea out into the world because it's a unique thing, and I believe in giving people a chance to uh, be seen. So we're going to do that tomorrow. I need to figure out the time, but we're going to predict 12 p.m. Eastern again. Just again, that's a default. I like it. I don't think I have anything scheduled at that time, so we'll say noon Eastern, and I will put out updates somewhere if that changes. But until then, uh, go out, build something, have some fun, and remember that I love you. You are loved. Now go out and make the world a better place, and go be a fucking friend to someone who needs one, because we all need more friends. Peace out. Love y'all.